Dean Show's on.
Welcome to The Dean Show from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Dean Show comes from the man who made you pay for Nova Rex, Ain't Easy Being Cheesy, and Butch Black, the Mean Man. Join Summit City Noise producer Dean Robinson for a weekly tour featuring food, music, special events, animation, and interviews with people who are getting stuff done. This is The Dean Show.
Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday morning. That's when I wake up. Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday morning. Love my pancakes. Love my pancakes. They've gotta be right. They've gotta be right. Don't wanna start Sunday. Don't wanna start Sunday with a great big fight. I don't wanna fight. Sunday morning comes after Saturday night. Sunday morning, Sunday morning. Sunday morning, reading the news. That's why I'm so blue on a Sunday morning. Put a special something in my milk and my juice.
Why does Iran hate the United States and Great Britain so much? Great Britain and the United States helped overthrow Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh in 1953. The Guardian UK says, the CIA has publicly admitted for the first time that it was behind the notorious 1953 coup against Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh, in documents that also show how the British government tried to block the release of information about its own involvement in his overthrow. The military coup that overthrew Mossadegh and his National Front cabinet was carried out under CIA direction as an act of U.S. foreign policy, conceived and approved at the highest levels of government, reads a previously excised section of an internal CIA history titled The Battle for Iran. The documents, published on the George Washington University Archives website under Freedom of Information laws, describe in detail how the U.S., with British help, engineered the coup, codenamed TP AJAX by the CIA, and Operation Boot by Britain's MI6. The George Washington University National Security Archive, Washington, D.C., August 19, 2013. American and British involvement in Mossadegh's ouster has long been public knowledge, but today's posting includes what is believed to be the CIA's first formal acknowledgement that the agency helped to plan and execute the coup. The explicit reference to the CIA's role appears in a copy of an internal history, The Battle for Iran, dating from the mid-1970s. The agency released a heavily excised version of the account in 1981 in response to an ACLU lawsuit, but it blacked out all references to TP AJAX, the codename for the US-led operation. Those references appear in the latest release. Why does Iran hate Great Britain and the United States? Great Britain and the United States helped overthrow Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh in 1953.
Visit Art Cut Tech's Barbershop and Supplies in Fort Wayne because your head deserves a hairstyle worth loving. Art Cut Tech's barbers provide current cuts, traditional trims, and enduring classic styles for men and women and children. Why look good when looking great is so much better? Visit Art Cut Tech's Barbershop and Supplies in the State and Beacon Plaza on East State Boulevard in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Art Cut Tech's. 9 Mile Restaurant serves delicious food for fine dining that families can afford. 9 Mile dinner specials include baked spaghetti Monday, baby back ribs Tuesday, Wednesday night Mexican dinners, and Thursday night Italian dinners. 9 Mile Restaurant is open 7 days a week. 9 Mile Restaurant is located 9 miles south of the Allen County Courthouse on US 27 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 9 Mile Restaurant and Catering.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me. Thank the goose that lays the golden egg. Good work, Goldie. Keep it up.
That's where he gets it.
That's all today, Goldie.
Please help an old lady who's cold and hungry. Let me come in and warm myself.
Look out! It's Captain Kidd! Quick, Goldie! Run for your life!
Sure, I'm Captain Kidd. And I want that goose.
Open the door! Let me in! Open the door!
Okay, pal.
You leave my goose alone, you big bully!
Tough guy, huh? I take what I want and I want what I take. We take what we want and we want what we take, for we're pirates out hunting for treasure. If we see any gold, we steal it away, robbing widows and orphans of pleasure. We fight with our mates and we... Faster, you lubbers! And our fortune's made. I've got the goose that lays the golden eggs. Weigh the anchor. We're going places. Oh, we take what we want and we want what we take, for we're pirates out hunting for treasure. If we see any gold, we steal it away, robbing widows and orphans of pleasure. We fight with our mates and we cut and shoot. We're mean and we're bad from our hats to our boots. We take what we want and we want what we take, for we're pirates out hunting for treasure.
Poor Goldie, poor Goldie! What'll I do? What'll I do?
Come on now. What a dozen eggs. You better hurry up with those eggs. All right, then. I'll help myself. Go get him, man. carry you from stem to stern. Why, you little...
Turn around, Goldie, and head for shore.
AJAX! Yay! Feeling!
The Dean Show will be right back after these messages.
9 Mile Restaurant is a great place for excellent food. 9 Mile Restaurant is also a great place to enjoy refreshing drinks. Check out our daily drink specials. Monday, domestic bottled beer for $1.50 and domestic draft for $1.25. Tuesday, 12-ounce drafts of Blue Moon for $2 and large pitchers for $6.50. Wednesday is Margarita Night. Margaritas for $2.50. Small pitchers for $6. $11 large pitchers. Plus, Corona and Dos Equis for $2.75 each. Thursday, Miller Lite, Budweiser, and Bud Light in a bottle for $2.25. Friday, Jaeger Bombs for $3.50 and Busch Light for $2. Saturday, Irish Car Bombs, 2 for $8, and Screwdrivers for $2.50. Sunday, domestic beer buckets, 5 bottles for $10. Have fun and drink responsibly at 9 Mile Restaurant. 9 Mile Restaurant and Catering.
Goes a Landis in a Landis moment. Get a dose of Landis. This is the Landis moment. Dose.
Jeff, what's coming up on the next episode of A Dose of Landis?
Well, part 2 of Vicious Venom, but what's different about this one is he's unmasking. In reality, Vicious Venom has been around for a long time, so there's been several Vicious Venoms. I mean, it could be me, it could be the next guy. Like I said, there's been several Venoms. There's been a black Vicious Venom, there's been an old Vicious Venom, there's been a Mexican Vicious Venom, so Vicious Venom has been all types of people, different shapes and sizes. In this interview, you'll find out some stuff about him. He even talks about his 50 kids that he has from 50 different women in 50 different states.
Sounds like he's setting up franchises.
Watch A Dose of Landis, 11 p.m. Thursdays on Access Fort Wayne 2.
Dose.
Mental health and disorders trump Second Amendment. NBC News. Headline: City sue Defense Department over failed gun checks after Texas massacre by Associated Press. 3 large U.S. cities have filed a federal lawsuit against the Defense Department, saying many service members who are disqualified from gun ownership were not reported to the National Background Check System. New York City, San Francisco, and Philadelphia filed the lawsuit in Virginia. The cities argued the Defense Department failed to report significant numbers of disqualifying records to the FBI's National Background Check System for gun licensing and sales. That failure allowed a disgraced former Air Force member to buy a high-powered rifle and shoot 26 people to death November 5th in a Texas church. The New York Times headline: Trump says issue is mental health, not gun control. Mr. Trump weighed in from Asia hours after a man clad in black, wearing a ballistic vest and armed with a military-style rifle, mowed down parishioners in a small-town church in Texas, killing 26 and injuring many more. I think that mental health is your problem here, Mr. Trump told reporters at a news conference in Japan. We have a lot of mental health problems in our country, as do other countries. But this isn't a guns situation, Mr. Trump added. This is a mental health problem at the highest level. 26-year-old Devin Patrick Kelly allegedly shot and killed 26 people with a semi-automatic rifle. The Donald says this isn't a guns situation. That is an openly ridiculous statement. The Hill headline: former GOP rep, Trump's mental health a grave conversation. This is a very grave conversation. It has been over 30 years since this nation had a conversation about whether or not our president was fit to serve. Former Representative David Jolly told host Nicole Wallace on MSNBC's Deadline White House. His remarks come after a new White House tell-all by Michael Wolff titled Fire and Fury inside the Trump White House claimed every White House staff questions the president's mental health. Trump tweeted in his defense that he is a very stable genius, further fueling the discussion. U.S. News and World Report headline: excessive video gaming to be named mental disorder by WHO. The World Health Organization is adding an unexpected disorder to its list of mental health conditions in 2018. People who play excessive amount of video games could find themselves diagnosed with gaming disorder. The World Health Organization's beta draft of its upcoming 11th update of International Classification of Diseases characterizes gaming disorder as a pattern of persistent or recurrent gaming behavior. Additionally, a 2009 study found about 8% of people from 8 to 18 years old exhibited pathological patterns of play. The inclusion of gaming disorder in the ICD-11 means healthcare workers and doctors can now diagnose someone with the condition. The Atlantic headline: the gun control legislation that even Republicans like. The National Instant Criminal Background Check System, or NICS, relies on state and federal officials to report mental health and criminal conviction records that legally bar individuals from purchasing firearms. But those records don't always make it into the system. After a gunman killed 26 people in Sutherland Springs, Texas, the Air Force conceded that it failed to report the shooter's prior domestic violence conviction, an action that, if it had been taken, might have prevented the purchase of the firearms used in the shooting. The new legislation is intended to make sure that something like that never happens again. The legislation doesn't call for expanding restrictions on gun purchases. It's meant to stop people from buying guns when they were never supposed to be able to in the first place. People, that means Congress is creating new laws that require following laws already on the books. That's absolutely madcap until you come to comprehend mental health and disorders are terms of endearment between Republican and Democrat politicians when it comes to restricting the constitutional right to keep and bear arms. While President Trump calls himself a stable genius, former Republican Congressman David Jolly says the president's mental health is a grave conversation. The World Health Organization now classifies certain video gaming as a mental disorder after 26-year-old Devin Patrick Kelly murders 26 people with a semi-automatic rifle in a Texas church. President Donald Trump says this isn't a guns situation. This is a mental health problem at the highest level. That is a ridiculous response to reports about a mass shooting that may be a mental health problem at the highest level.
The Dean Show will be right back after these messages.
Yeah, rock and roll!
I just wanna rock, I just wanna roll, I just wanna rock and roll. I just wanna rock, I just wanna roll, I just wanna rock and roll. I just wanna rock.
We wear hair bands with balls. Let's put it that way.
Hairspray, big boots, party, drink all night, throw up, drink some more. Yeah, of course I'm famous, right? I go in the room, I'm looking for JP, and he's truly hanging naked in the closet with gravity belts.
Why shouldn't I be the next Bon Jovi or something?
The difference between us and a band, say like Def Leppard,
It's just numbers, man.
it was just numbers. We never had 1,000 chicks after gay. We only had 20.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The music, the hair, the whole facade, everything that went along with it.
Well, Aquanet served two purposes. You could use it as a weapon, spray it with a
Exactly.
lighter.
Don't fill my balls, Bob! We look like girls.
A lot of times, the guys in the band look better than the girls that were trying to pick them up. I mean, come on. I mean, does Bon Jovi have to go to a restaurant? They're gonna charge him to eat there? No. Did they charge us? No. I mean, ours might have been Burger King, And the whole thing with sex, that was already a done deal. That was part of it.
Who's telling me that my mom ain't gonna bone Robert Redford? That's that. Grunge came in and it just took us out.
It wasn't about grunge hitting, it was about Nirvana hitting.
Ain't easy being cheesy. So that's what Nova Rex comes up with to combat this grunge movement. Ain't easy being cheesy.
Come and experience the performance that changed the world.
An alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done told the news. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done made the news. Sheriff Joe Arpaio hates everything from Mexico. All light brown people have to go, 'cause Sheriff Joe done told you so. Illegal people, can't you see? Your mere existence is killing me. All taco eaters have to leave, 'cause Sheriff Joe is showing teeth. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done told the news.
Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done made the news. Sex crime happens, no big deal. Call Sheriff Joe and get the heel. The only thing this man can feel is a pain he really never wants to heal. The British say this land is mine, 'cause Washington and friends are fine. Killed native tribes all down the line, enslaving black people and all their kind. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done told the news. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done made the news. Joe says Obama comes from afar. The brother may as well have come from Mars. So he's eating cars, he's eating bars. Barack Obama from the planet Mars or Africa, it's just as bad. If he was from Great Britain, we'd all be glad. But as it is, we're all just mad. By Sheriff Joe, we've all been had. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done told the news. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. How do you know it's true? The sheriff done made the news. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. The president's an alien, maybe not Homo sapien. The sheriff done made the news.
Thanks for watching The Dean Show. I'll be here next week.
Watch The Dean Show on the Fort Wayne CW. The Dean Show comes from the man who made you pay for Nova Rex, Ain't Easy Being Cheesy, and Butch Black, the Mean Man. Join Summit City Noise producer Dean Robinson for a weekly tour featuring food, music, special events, animation, and interviews with people who are getting stuff done. Got what it takes to be on The Dean Show? Call or email today. Watch The Dean Show, Sundays at 11 a.m. on the Fort Wayne CW.